Yeah, we're going to have to do that again.
No, see, it would be artificial now.
Yeah,
it
lack the spontaneity.
Yeah.
So our dear listener will have no idea what gem of a improv they just missed.
Yeah.
Oh well. Roll the tape.
Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello dear listener and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin and with me as always is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Thomas.
Hi, hello.
I nearly forgot your name. What? There's so many of you. Actually, there was a time there, very soon after the triplets were born, where I called everyone Boris.
Oh, yeah.
That lasted a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, that's the spag bog.
A motorbike just drove right around the corner there. I'm sure you heard it. Yeah, everyone was Boris. So, shall we start again? Hello, dear listener. Welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin, and with me, as always, is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Boris.
Hello. I am Boris. I am Boris.
Oh, Boris is peaking. Bring back Thomas. Thomas doesn't peak much.
Yes. Hi. Hello.
Hi. What have you been up to?
Well, I went and I put numbers in boxes, and then I put those boxes in a bigger box.
Oh, you just took the one and only thing that I could think of that I was going to bring up. And I should have known. I really should have known that was foolish of me to use elections and what have you as a potential thing to talk about when you would be first.
What other thing that I've been up to could I actually reasonably talk about on a public podcast?
I am grasping it. Well, look, I could make a list.
Uh-huh.
You abandoned a bleep that has honoured you with their service for these many years. Just gave them the flick, or are going to.
Yes, it's going to happen. That.
Sorry.
That's the sort of thing I'm talking about that I shouldn't be talking about on a public podcast.
Okay. So, well, you derailed me, so I thought I'd derail you. It was deliberate.
Yes,
nefarious.
And having done that, you're going to have to edit it all out.
Oh, okay. I'll just bleep it. You did the bleep and the bleep.
So I voted in the state election.
You can't talk about that.
No, I can talk about that.
As long as you have the disclaimer at the bottom. At the bottom of the podcast.
We're past the relevant period.
Oh, okay.
I can spout off whatever opinions I so choose.
Written, spoken and authorised by Thomas Chick. And the spag bog rumble continues.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. See, one of the problems with having to authorise such advertisements is that you have to include your real address.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to do that on a public podcast.
No, it is. Bleep.
It's somewhere east of the Derwent.
It is. Yep. And if you go east far enough, it's somewhere west of the Derwent.
Does the Derwent rap...
He's flummoxed, dear listener. Completely flummoxed.
See, what you've done here is you've derailed me to the point that I am now going down a rabbit hole.
You are.
You shouldn't have done that.
I really shouldn't have. He's flicking on his tablet now.
Yeah.
He's brought up... I should mention, dear listener, that Thomas is actually a flat earther. So this is going to be difficult for him to grasp.
No, I'm pretty sure this is...
Fly me to the moon.
I'm pretty sure that Hobart is about as east as the river gets. There's like a tiny bit
It's as Hobart is as east as the river gets.
Yes.
I'm just trying to. I'm going to have to see a picture now.
Okay. There's like a tiny little bit.
I'm seeing west over here and east over here. How is Hobart as east as it gets?
As east as the river gets. Like
the river is north-south. Thus we have the eastern shore and the western shore.
The river might be north-south, but it does not progress strictly north-south.
That's right. Of course, humour him. It falls off the back of the huge turtle that's swimming through space.
The Derwent River starts
in the Ganges. I should point out, dear listener, that I didn't take my meds today.
Oh, good. Great. So pleased to hear it. The river starts, I think, Lake St. Clair, which is somewhat west of Hobart. and quite a bit north. I will pay you that.
Yes, but what I was suggesting is that we are on the eastern side, but if we keep going east...
If we keep going east, we find very little of the Derwent River.
No, I was talking a long way east. A long way east. We're dealing with the flat earth thing again here. You just can't grasp it.
Okay, so first of all, why are you going east to find the Derwent River in the UK?
I am going to have to use a demonstration here, okay? So I'm turning my head so that I have my back turned towards Thomas. Now, if I spit hard enough, I should be able to hit him. He's facing the back of my head. I should be able to hit him in the back of his head. Now we've just got to wait.
You hit the window.
No. Oh, no. Quantum physics here, Thomas. All right. Look,
what are we doing here?
While we're waiting, we'll get on with this podcast. I haven't done anything this week. So we have a film to watch.
Really? So you're out $20 then?
I'm out $20. Why? What did I do?
If you've done nothing this week, then that means you didn't vote.
Oh. No, I think we established that I did.
Right.
Yes, by saying that was going to be my news.
Yeah. And so I voted in the state election, and we still don't know exactly what the parliament looks like, but it does look somewhat like a minority Liberal government. And what do you know? Insert or do not insert clip here where I said that it would be a minority Liberal government.
I won't insert that. No.
Listeners can go back and check.
Listen to episode 110.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably said it then.
Yeah.
At the end of this week, we're going to a state election.
We are.
After which the Liberals will probably control the state parliament.
Oh, just got a message. Hang on. Oh, okay. It's South Africa. Somebody saw a big goober fly overhead. So it's all good.
So,
oh dear.
Why did you aim in the... I don't think you aimed in the right direction to hit South Africa. You need to aim a little more north.
See, you are not compensating for the great... what's the name of it? Come on,
Great
Thomas.
Circles?
No, the wind that comes under the Great Australian Bight, and that's going to bug me now. What is it? You're not tapping buttons on the screen.
No, because I want to get out of this bit.
What's it called? Wind that hits
You know you're the one who has to edit all this.
West Coast. This is just bugging me really bad.
Normally it's my fault that we're set off on some wild tangent that causes you great deals of editing work.
Oh, if only Wendy was here, she would just... I'm going to kick myself. Look, I'm going to have to put it in the show notes.
What an absolute waste of time this opening segment has been.
Maybe I'm just putting off actually watching this film. Because I have my hesitations concerning more recent Wes Anderson.
Right.
Or, spoilers, we're watching a Wes Anderson film.
Yeah, spoilers for last week when we said it explicitly.
Yes, but, we could have new dear listeners here.
And spoilers for, the title of the episode. And the show notes of the episode.
All right.
All
right, we have a film to watch.
We do. We do have a film to watch.
What are we watching this week?
We are watching the Wes Anderson film, Asteroid City.
Duck! Oh, thanks, Thomas. Right in the eye. Great. Ew. It's got spag bog in it too. Okay, Wes Anderson's Asteroid City. Hey, wow, what a segue. Things going around the Earth at high speeds. Asteroid City. We are watching Wes Anderson's Asteroid City. What is, pray tell, Asteroid City all about?
It's a movie about a TV show about a play about a town, in which a group of brainy teens and their world-weary parents attend a stargazing event at an asteroid landing site. That's
what we're watching, dear listener. We're going to switch on the televisual device. We're going to tune it in to whichever streaming service it is now streaming on, which I believe is Netflix.
Internet films.
We're going to watch it, and then we're going to come back and maybe talk about it, unless, small particles of that spittle that are still continuing to do a second circle around the Earth manage to get me in the eye again. So we'll catch you on the flip side.
Turn to side B.
Duck!
By your logic, everything is east of the Mississippi.
Everything is. Just as all roads lead to Rome.
Great, yeah. All the roads here definitely lead to Rome.
Including Bleep, the street that I mentioned earlier, upon which Thomas just released the written and spoken and authorised by.
Let's get on with
Okay,
this.
you mongrel. So, what did you think?
I loved it.
I could tell.
I really enjoyed it. I had a good time.
You did. You were cackling all the way through it.
That says says many things.
Well, the was going to be followed with, I didn't cackle quite so much.
No.
And I don't know whether that was just because of the madness and mayhem that occurred before watching the film, or whether I was just generally just a bit jaded by the whole Wes Andersonisms.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There were bits that I just absolutely loved. The set design and just the visual cues that were going on were just wonderful. But there were whole swathes of it where I felt that he was just trying to outdo himself, I guess. Or I don't know. It reminds me, there's a Monty Python skit where there's a whole bunch of arty-farty type people sort of gathered together, and they're all trying to outdo each other. And Oscar Wilde is in amongst these, and they're all trying to out Oscar Wilde each other, and then it all goes pear-shaped. And for some reason, this reminded me of that skit where he was trying to out Wes Anderson himself. And I don't think it was his best work. I did not feel the love of... I think it was the love of characters. There are almost too many characters to actually become attached to any of them. Mm-hmm. Whereas in previous ones, I mean, Moonrise Kingdom, I really, really enjoy, because yes, there are ridiculously quirky characters in that, but you do get to spend enough time with the characters that are in it to get a fondness for or an aggravation with that is well and truly planned, that is meant to happen. But this just felt like it was just scattershot. We've got so many people who have put their hand up to be in a Wes Anderson film that he has written little bits for each of them, and they've all acted their little heart outs in the tone of Wes Anderson. It became like English Christmas pantomimes, where everyone puts their hands up to be in it, and then they overact pantomime-like, and they have a great deal of fun with it, and the audience does, because, that's that person from such and such, and that's that person from such and such. But because he uses so many famous actors in bit parts in all of his films, it's just, I don't know, I've just become jaded, I think.
Well, I completely disagree. I ate it up and I'm left wanting more. Good. No, and I just
that's
had
fine.
a very good time.
Yeah, and Daniel watched it, and I think he thoroughly enjoyed it, and Morgan watched it. Morgan was a bit of a surprise sitting in on this, and he certainly cackled. And there were places where I cackled, but there were also places where I heard all three of you cackle, and I thought, Yeah, maybe my jadedness is just because it caught me on a bad day. But like I say, there were some bits that I just really liked the look of. Still very Wes Anderson-like. But one thing especially was everything was artificial in this. In Moonrise Kingdom, this whole swathes of it are in real outdoors areas, and when they cut to the set pieces, you know that's how it is, and you completely accept that. Grand Budapest Hotel, yes, you've got cameras going through walls between rooms, but they're also large sets that are obviously physically there. But every centimetre of this particular film feels like the characters are pasted on art, which is fine. It's an aesthetic that he chose, and that's actually what I liked about this film, was that at least that was different, whereas all the rest of it just felt rehashed but up the ante, I guess. I'm doing a lot of I-guessing. I know, you loved it.
Yeah,
you really loved it.
I enjoyed the film a lot, and I can't really tell you exactly why. It is aggressively meta, and that is generally my jam.
Yeah.
Possibly, if it had gone a little further with that, it would have turned me around completely, but
if you just waited a little longer, that lump of spittle would have got around the earth again. Oh, yuck. I don't know what else to say about that.
And because I'm at odds as to exactly why I like the film, I have very little to add.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because I would like to be able to balance out whatever's going on over there.
Over here, yes. Yeah. And I did identify with certain characters that I wanted them to have more screen time. The kid, for example,
Mm-hmm.
You know, there were lots of kids, so...
Yeah.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Woodrow.
Yeah. I think what really I wanted him fleshed out, especially. And maybe that is the brilliance that I'm not recognising in this film, that perhaps there is a single person in this film that each audience member identifies with. And so for me, it might be Woodrow, and for you, it might be somebody else. And so everyone's left wanting more. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just completely not worthy of being in Wes Anderson's filmic presence. Or I'm beginning to see that the Emperor is in fact naked. Oh, you can quote me on that.
I completely disagree. 9 rubber chickens.
Oh, David, I think you're wrong. I think he's a one-trick pony, and it was refreshing when he first came out, but now, I don't know. I just find it so much harder to enjoy him.
I know he's a one-trick pony. I really like that one trick. It's a good trick.
And I was thinking that whilst watching it, and very recently, you haven't been, but some of the family have been rewatching Studio Ghibli. And each film we watch, there comes a point where one of us says, there's the train. Because 99% of Studio Ghibli films have a train in it. I was thinking, whilst watching this, is that the same? That it has to have that certain thing in it? And I don't think so. So I don't know why I'm telling you this story, because it isn't a apples and apples, oranges and oranges comparison. I'm quite happy with Studio Ghibli having trains in each film. And when it doesn't happen, maybe that's it. When a film doesn't have trains in it, I'm not upset. Read into that what you like.
I don't know if that one holds up.
Oh, dear.
Maybe Miyazaki just really likes trains.
Would I watch this film again? Yes, I would. Because I think there was some things that I missed. There was certainly some dialogue I missed. I don't know whether it was because it wasn't loud enough or because it was just mushy.
Yeah, to reduce the gushiness of my praise for the film somewhat, yes, there is some mushy dialogue in there. And some of that, I can blame on just scattered noises in the room, but some of it just... No, couldn't hear what was being said. And sometimes that is what you get out of a Wes Anderson movie. The dialogue is dense, very dense. Yeah. And sometimes it just sort of blurs together.
Sort of blurs together?
It just sort of blurs together.
Yeah. I'm happy with that take. I don't care whether you can understand what he's saying, but we'll keep that take. Let's keep that take.
Yeah, it works. I think it works.
Thanks, Mumbles. All right.
But other than that, I loved it.
Yes. And me, not so much. But the other two, yes, they did. So maybe I'm growing old. Maybe that's what it is. And all you teenagers enjoyed it because you're all teenagers.
I do hope I live that down.
No, you won't. So if you've got nothing else to say...
No.
I think we might move on then.
The following segment has no title. Thank you.
We will start over on Discord with Entuosferatu.
Hi, Entuosferatu.
Who says, Re-Dunk the Second, do they need a Lord of the Rings style extended edition that is 3.5 hours long? I need to see that. The existing Dune 2. I'll reserve judgment on an extended cut.
Right, okay.
And then there's a lengthy discussion about extended cuts.
There is.
How Villeneuve doesn't want to do one because he made the film he wanted to make.
That's right. However, just looping back to the whole Peter Jackson releasing extended editions, I much prefer the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings, but I think I've mentioned it before about The Hobbit being stretched out to 3 movies. I think that desperately needs to be cut down to a single 2.5-hour max movie.
On the other hand, according to this conversation, Peter Jackson made the movies he wanted to make the first time, as far as The Lord of the Rings is concerned, and the extended cuts were not necessarily for his edification.
Right. Even though they went to the bother of getting reorchestrations of the extended scenes and things like that.
It's just there to add more content.
Well, if he felt like that, then gee, I know that The Hobbit had a troubled history, and he was supposedly thrown in at the last minute, and all right, I will do it. But gee, to be stuck in that position and make it as long as they actually did, crazy talk.
And then...
Nosferatu also said, I've never heard of Capricorn 1.
But I think for whatever reason I have less desire to see this than Outland.
Right, okay. I'm just wondering whether that had something to do with, I mentioned my suspicion as to maybe why it has gone off the radar with a certain actor / football player / wife murderer. The director said about Capricorn 1, O.J. Simpson was in it, and Robert Blake was in Busting, which is Haim's first feature. I've said many times, some people have AFI Lifetime Achievement Awards. Some people have multiple Oscars. My bit of trivia is that I've made films with 2 leading men who were subsequently tried for the first-degree murder of their wives. So, yeah, it's possibly got a bad taste in broadcasters' mouths now, and so it's a bit of a let's not show this film now.
Skimming down the page to Twitter, and Angel.
Hi, Angel.
Who says that they almost forgot to tell an absolutely silly story. I was introducing a friend from school to Cellulose Free, and every time I talk about it now, he corrects the podcast name to Cellulose Expensive. I asked why, and he replied with, Cellulose can't be free, not in this economy. But it's not really that expensive.
No.
I mean, I looked it up, and it's like 70 cents per square metre if you get it in bulk. It's...
And it's ostensibly a natural material.
Yeah.
That also burns.
Yeah.
Very easily.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you for introducing another poor soul to this podcast.
And that will bring us on to the guesses.
It will.
In addition to Nosferatu and Angel, we also have guesses from E of Pi.
Hi, E of Pi.
And M.
Hello, M.
And they are all different guesses.
They are.
And I am going to reserve judgment on any of them until after I have read them all out.
Wow. But so you are going to lay judgment upon all of them afterwards. Wow. You're a harsh taskmaster, you are.
Nosferatu says, based on the reminder of the file name limits, I will guess Cap 1, and that is the numeral 1. So CAP 1.
Wow, so you're trimming it right down to just 4 alphanumerics.
But I think the comedy choice is No Mars. E of Pi says, enjoy the episode, my honour is satisfied, our seconds need speak no further.
We can close the box on the pistols then.
And my guess unspoiled for this week beyond the podcast reminder about alphanumeric is Kupkun 1, CPCRN 1.
Right.
M says, surely I won't miss up the guess this time, and says Kuprokun 1, CPRCN 1.
Oh, there's a letter switch there, basically.
And Angel says, darn, got the last one incredibly wrong, my guess shall be Capri 1. CAPRI 1.
There's a bit of a Battlestar Galactica type feel to that one.
So I didn't see the file name
No.
before I said anything last week, but I fear that I may have in some way misled our dear listeners as to what lengths my dear father will actually go to when it comes to naming files. Because you've all put a numeral 1 in your file names, and I'm looking over at the table at the bottom of our document, which has the correct answer in bold, and it does not have the numeral 1 in it, or indeed any numerals whatsoever.
No.
No.
And again, it was a case of we've got 3 minutes before we start recording, and I dial up a 6-letter / numeric, but in this case, no numerics.
In some ways, Nosferatu is the closest by saying Cap 1.
Indeed.
It's just a shame that you used the numeral 1.
That is true.
Because the correct answer is Cap 1, all spelt out.
Like Capone.
Mm.
In fact, when I was dialing it in, I write Cap 1, and then I realised that I'd spelt out Capone. And I thought, that's what my finger told me to spell. Mr. Bimble, my finger, told me to spell, and that's what it was. Mm.
Yeah.
So, no guesses this week. No correct guesses.
No.
And into Nosferatu was close, but no cigar or any other smoking paraphernalia. Good.
Like a pipe. Oh.
Yeah, there was a lot of pipe smoking in this film today. My goodness.
And cigarettes with children.
Yes. Shame. For shame.
I hope you're all ashamed of yourselves.
Well, thank you everyone for placing your guesses. Of course, we watched Asteroid City. I had to do something with that to create a... What am I trying to say?
A 6 or fewer alphanumeric character long string.
That's right. String.
Which I think will gently string us along to the next segment.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
And it's your turn.
It is my turn. And from the sublime to the ridiculous, I'm going to throw a film at you from...
Almost exactly not 2023?
No, absolutely not 2023. In fact, from a film which was made when I was 7.
Right.
So 1975. And it is a mystery and thriller. With a bit of crime thrown in. Made in the US. Starring Robert Redford. And Faye Dunaway. Max von Sydow. I don't think you're going to get this.
No.
Even if I read the nice, short and succinct plot synopsis that happens to be on a random web page. Which has the letters IMDb in its name, I think. Okay, so this is the plot synopsis. Buzz in when you've guessed it. A bookish CIA researcher finds all his co-workers dead and must outwit... Oh.
Clear and Present Danger?
1975? No.
No,
it's not that. So I shall go on. Finds all of his co-workers dead and must outwit those responsible until he figures out who he can really trust. It does sound like a...
surely this is a Jack Ryan.
It does sound like a Jack Ryan, doesn't it?
Typically, Jack Ryan doesn't find all his CIA colleagues dead in America.
No. Next week, we are watching the Sidney Pollack film, 3 Days of the Condor.
Right, no idea.
No. I have not seen it myself.
Right, that would explain it then.
However, I did order it on DVD. a second-hand copy, which, just to put a bit of a tease here, has another... It was a 2-movie box, so with another Robert Redford film. Next week, we're watching 3 Days of the Condor. We hope that you can join us, but until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
Deranged Cat. Hello. Hello. 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
We got some volume.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Sweet volume.
Yeah, how much volume are we talking about? Like a litre?
Yeah.
2 litres?
2 litres. 1 cubic metre. Or a tonne.
Yeah.
Of water.
Yep.
Cool.
That sure is a kilolitre.
You gotta love the metric system. You gotta. Also gotta love having a cat tree in the middle of the Deranged Cat studio.
In the middle is...
Oh, it's in the middle of that wall.
Yeah. But the wall is not in the middle of the room.
No. To the left. There's an ulcer in your upper lip, and that's just gonna give you jip. What?
Ow.
Well, just so long as you can talk, that's...
Oh, yeah, I can... Come on, show me the duck. I want the duck.
Quack.
No, not the duck, the duck.
Oh.
No, not the duck, the duck.
No, got nothing.